Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I have a vlog. Well, this week I'm doing a vlog and it's going to be the 20th of June, so it's not quite the end of the month, but I'm like realizing that not much is going to be read by the end of the month. So I will share my daughter's books also towards the end of this vlog, but I have like quite a bit of random books to show you guys. I'm also going through my book cart, and I can call myself being in a reading slump at this point. So you'll hear noise in the background. I apologize, like air conditioners, fans, it's super hot. And my son, Behringer, is playing right there. So I did finish one book so far, and that is You Get So Alone at Times That Just Make Sense by Charles Bukowski. I've been reading Bukowski for months, his poetry collections, and I didn't enjoy this one as much as Betting on the Muse, and this one was actually written while he was still alive, while Betting on the Muse was printed after. So I don't know, I had this concept in my brain that this one was going to be better. In my mind, I was like, oh, maybe he'll have, all writers that have this idea that they have more control over their work and they carefully edited it more, of course, like while you're alive and stuff like that. Like, and then I'm like, well, if they died, then who's really controlling the books and like what's going in there, and like how do I 100% know that they wrote it? I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like pessimistic, but no. Betting on the Muse, I could hear. It's not like I knew Bukowski, obviously, but I could hear like it right out of his mouth from reading his other work and stuff like that. Like, it just, like, I definitely think it's like authentic. Of course, I'm not saying that it's not, but in my mind I'm like, okay, but no, like I really liked Betting on the Muse better, but like it had the laughing heart, which is like one of my favorite poems of all time. But this one, I don't know, like they didn't really have any poems that just like really jumped out at me. Okay, so I'll read this one. Our laughter is muted by their agony. As a child crosses the street, as deep sea divers dive, as the painters paint, the good fight against terrible odds is the vindication and the glory as the swallow rises toward the moon. It is so dark now with the sadness of people. They were tricked. They were taught to expect the ultimate when nothing is promised. Now young girls weep alone in small rooms. Old men angrily swing their canes at visions as ladies comb their hair. As ants search for survival, history surrounds us, and our lives slink away in shame. Yeah, he's just so great about the human condition. If you like a little bit more of a pessimistic view on things, which I tend to be drawn towards, even though the laughing heart's very optimistic, but yeah. But that was, I really only hearted 3 poems in this one. I have a few stacks. This is one of my first stacks. Now, I've been like really not having much on my book cart that is left for me to read, other than some classics that are just too long for me to get into right now. My daughter suggested these because my husband has them. Jasper, I'm not sure, F-F-O-R-D-E, and he has this nursery crime series. So this is kind of loosely based on Humpty Dumpty, and this one I believe is like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And I went ahead and I started it, and the first one's titled Mary Mary, so it was probably a reference to Mary Mary Quack and Cherry. And there's other references to other nursery rhymes like Jack Splat, which I think the second title is like Jack Splat. And so I do like the writing so far. It's actually quite funny. And here's the Humpty Dumpty traditional nursery rhyme. So I love fairy tales and nursery rhymes. So he has Jack Splat, he calls it Sprat, but it's Splat. And of course, so I'm really interested to see it's different from what I'm used to. I don't even know really how to describe it, but I will say that I didn't immediately DNF it, which is like, I'm a big DNFer because I just don't have time. Like, who does? But I mean, it's like you have to dedicate, your reading time is like something you want to dedicate to, your time that you have. And so if it's not a book I'm really interested in, I just DNF it. But so I did like the writing. So, it's just set up like a typical mystery about like, it's like Mary who's going to work for a police department. I believe she's going to be a sergeant or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but it sounds kind of interesting. So I will see as it goes on. So I did just start that series. And then I tried Emily of New Moon without success. I failed. I tried it I read the first chapter and it just didn't grab me. It didn't grab me. I know. It's a classic. I know. Not as popular as Anne of Green Gables, of course. I just didn't really connect with Emily. She does become an orphan, which, you know, I like my orphans, but orphan stories and things like that. I love someone who has to overcome something, who maybe doesn't have a support system, and that's the whole thing about orphans. That's kind of what I connect with, and because I don't really, you know. So anyway, I don't know. I just didn't really connect with it, even though she's an orphan. She goes to live with her family, like a more extended family, and I just. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't think I'm quite ready to let it go. I might try it again in like a year or 6 months. So that one's I'm putting aside for now. This one I checked out from the library. I have some other library ones to show you guys. This is, I'm gonna mess up the name, but Sally Rooney. I think it's a chess term, I believe. Intermezzo, I don't know. I didn't look up exactly how to pronounce it, but basically, it's about two brothers. So one of the brothers is like really into chess, or a chess prodigy or something like that. Like, I believe I really only started it because I just wanted to. It's also, I think it deals with grief because they just lost their father, which I've been really interested in wanting to find books about grief lately. And, you know, of course, I really loved Normal People. I don't know, like I loved it because I couldn't put it down, but it's not a book I would typically probably reread. It actually made me quite angry. I really didn't connect with the boy. I forgot his name. Sorry, the guy. The one of the lead characters. His name is slipping my brain, but it was like, you know, it's kind of like about a relationship between two people. He really kind of triggered me, but that's just, it was just really well written though. That's the point. You know, not all characters are supposed to be likable, right? I really like the way she writes. I didn't put this down because I don't like the way she writes. I just wasn't connecting with the character who just lost his father, and he is like visiting this woman, and he's talking about, I don't know, like it's a, like, how long is it? Like, it's pretty long. It's like almost 500, like 450-ish pages or more. So, you know, it'll probably just get better and better, but I don't have the time to dedicate to it right now because it's a library read, and I'm just not that interested. And I didn't really think I was going to be from reading the excerpt, like from reading the synopsis. Like, it didn't grab me like Normal People did. And I tried her other two novels also, but they weren't for me. But she's really interesting writer. I really like her writing, but it just wasn't for me. No. Okay. Another one I started this week is East by Edith Pattou. Pattou, not sure. So I just started it. I hardly got far at all. Only read one chapter, but immediately I really love the writing. I just like the writing. It flows. Eva Rose was the name of our last born child, except it was a lie. Her name should have been Nima Rose, but everyone called her Rose rather than Eva, so the lie didn't matter. At least that's what I told myself. So yeah, the rose part of her name came from the symbol that lies at the center of the wind rose, which is fitting because she was lodged at the very center of my heart. So this is based, like, you know, on East of the Sun, West of the Moon, which I read. It's in my daughter's Nordic Tales book. Folktales from Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, and Denmark. So I want to reread it really soon at some point. So I just went ahead and grabbed it. And yeah, so okay, so this one's like my favorite one so far that I've started. Then, you know, also started the nursery rhyme series, and then I need to go through my bottom layer of my cart, which is like, I don't know, like some of these are already DNF'd. Like I literally, Lady Chatterley's Lover, D.H. Lawrence, I literally already DNF'd it. But Shirley, I DNF'd. The Thief Who Sang Songs, two by Sophie Anderson. If you saw my unhaul video, I thought about getting rid of these two, but The Castle of Tangled Magic, 2 middle grade. I decided to keep them. And here's another Bukowski, but it's a novel. I'm putting this off because I want to do all his poetry. Factotum. This is Factotum. I want to read all his poetry before I read another one of his novels. Now I really am excited about this one. This is Little Mermaid and Other Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. My husband got me this as a gift and I haven't read it yet. This is like a non-fiction-y book, motherhood. And then, yeah, so some of these like Paul Coelho, whatever. Oh, here's another Bukowski. Yeah, I got another poetry book. I don't know. I wanted to give myself a little break from Bukowski because like I just read 2 poetry books by him. Really love Betty on the Muse, but like the last one just, I don't know. I feel like there's so many more for me to go, and if I read another one that's not good, I'm just gonna get burnt out. And I want to read all of them, so I'm taking a break from Bukowski's poetry. Do y'all remember the small ones? They made a giant one. Look how cool this is. It's a giant stacking ring set. That was so cool. So I was gonna make an entire video of like picture books, but I could not find enough new ones. I'll check out like 15 picture books in the library, and I'm just so picky about sharing the ones I absolutely love. But 2 of these I really adore, which I'll save actually my 2 favorite for last. But this one's actually Animalia. Graeme Base is the author. Now this one doesn't have a storyline because it's actually like an alphabet book. That's why I want to, like, actually want to buy it for my son, but it's not like in the typical fiction. So that's why it's kind of like different. But look at this. So it's like, you know, an armored armadillo avoiding an angry alligator. So you can teach the alphabet. I guess this would be like for a little bit older, like when they've grasped, you know, the sounds and then the letters, but then just to kind of reinforce. So it's like all the letters of the alphabet. Beautiful. Look at, like, just gorgeous. With, you know, all the different words. So I'm really into it. I might get it for him for when he's like 3 or something like that. So like we can still read this out loud and it'll be a little bit more like advanced versus just a regular ABC book. I'm so excited. Look, it's gorgeous. It's not that it's not my favorite because the illustrations are gorgeous. It's just because I wanted to do this video more like fiction. This is kind of like its own category, but yeah, it's just phenomenal. So yeah. Okay, so that's that. And then this one is Mem Fox, Tough Boris. Now this one I think also fits in a category for me of like emotional picture books or picture books about grief. So it's not that it's not great. It's just I was looking for a little bit like whimsical, kind of separate, or like fairy tale-ish, or just separate stories. And this is still a really good picture book. But like I said, I'd kind of like to put it in a category of like emotional picture book. So it's about a pirate. It's all about him being tough because he's a pirate, and then like kind of like having to show an emotional side. So I think it's a really good book for kids to like feel okay with showing different sides of themselves and their emotions, and I like books like that. You know, it's like okay to have feelings and express yourself and things like that. And that's what it is. And then now we have Marcel, the shell with shoes on, things about me. Yeah. By Jenny Slate and Dean Fleischer Camp. Can't see his name totally in print. Yeah. Fleischer Camp. Okay. They have a movie called Marcel. I don't know if it's called Marcel the Shell, but it's based on this book. It's kind of shot like a kind of like documentary of the snail, and it looks beautiful. And I really want to watch it. I think I'm gonna have to rent it because I can't find it anywhere. But look at this. I think it's oil paintings. So, and it's script. So also it's kind of like an older picture book age, or of course you could read it at any age. He's digging in my books on my cart. Okay, look, let's get your book. This is his book, Don't Tickle the Dinosaur. And this is a sound book also. This is Don't Tickle the Dinosaur, it might make a grunt. Okay, so I believe it's oil paintings, and so it's written in kind of like a cursive font. So my name is Marcel. I'm partially a shell, as you can see my body, but I also have love shoot. I can't even read it. Have shoes. Okay. He's very hard to see because there he is. He's tiny. It's very quirky. I literally laughed. There he is again on top of the book. So it's just gorgeous. and a face. It's funny and quirky, and it's one of those picture books I immediately was like, wow, I felt better after reading it. Like, this is just so well written and so cute and unique. He lives in bread. It's called a bread room, not a bedroom. It's a bedroom, but I sleep in a piece of bread, so I just call it my bread room. Stuff like that, just like quirky. So it's just really cute, and I love it. I love it. Okay, now this is the last one. I want to buy this book. I want to buy it. I would like Marcel too, but this one's my favorite one out of the ones I just checked out. It's called The Enchanted Chest by Jean-Francois Chabas, or Chabas, I'm not sure. It's French. David Sala, I guess, is the illustrator. It's a large picture book. And this is definitely also like at the top of the age range. So this is like an older age picture book. So it's very fairy tale-ish, and it's about the story about this fisherman who finds this treasure chest. And it's pretty much the whole story. I don't want to give anything away. I don't believe it has like a synopsis on the back. Okay, no. For weeks the emperor didn't sleep and barely ate. He thought only of the chest. What incredible wonders could it contain? So basically, I'm not going to give anything away. I will say that from the first page, I was immediately hooked. I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so good. It sounds like something you hear on like the podcast Circle Round, which is like folk tales, folklore, fairy tale, stuff like that. And so the fisherman finds this chest. And it's all about the chest and what's inside the chest, and kind of like morals, and like kind of like this really interesting story around the chest. And it involves a lynx and an emperor and an alchemist and a magician and a strong man. All these people involved. It was just so interesting. So you guys, he's almost 12 months, so I will be filming his way I got him for his first birthday very soon. Look, the train. And so if you guys are interested, that will be up. I know a lot of you have children the same age as my daughter, who's 12, and that's kind of where we were, of course, when I started the channel. Oh, we already popped the seam. Yep, that happened. Yeah, he's very rough with books, and it's sad because I can't monitor him every second. I have to leave the room to get water, do different things. Obviously, oh no, I didn't realize it was this bad. He loves books, and like he already has Indestructibles and soft books, and he doesn't gravitate towards those as much now that he has board books, and we're kind of been destroying a lot of them. I might have to see if I can tape it, and then he's just gonna pull the tape. But yeah, a lot of times I have to take books out of here, but this one I didn't realize. Just yeah, he must have did this yesterday. But anyway, so if you guys are interested, already bought all of his stuff for his first year. That's not my train. Its funnel is too rusty. So yeah, I have a couple things over there. I don't know if I showed that already in the video. It's like some of the bigger items, and then I'm so excited. So this is a huge milestone for him, and I'm really, really excited. And yeah, so thank you for watching so far. Okay, so we're not completely over with the month. We're about the 20th, but this is what you read so far that we have, because the library has
4.
You read 4 from the library. What were those?
Those were Nightingale by Diva Fagan, The Game of Noctis also by Diva Fagan, Skyward by Brandon Sanderson, and The Ruby Code by Jessica Curry.
So you read 6 books so far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she read those 4 from the library, and then we already brought them back, unfortunately, after I started this video. But this is Warriors, The Sight, Power of 3. This is another...
Yeah, it's the third series. It might not say it, but it's the third series in Warrior.
It's the first book in the third series?
Yes.
Okay, so she's continuing Warriors, and did you like this third series?
Yes, I did.
And it's about fantasy cats that are in clans. Okay.
And then I also read this. This is House Moon Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. It's a classic, and I really liked it.
Is it a modern classic, I think.
Yeah, it's a modern classic.
And you watched the movie first by Hayao Miyazaki.
Yes.
And then, so what'd you think of the book compared to the movie?
I thought it was really good.
Okay, so, and then there's another 2 books in the series, like a trilogy?
Yeah. Well, no, because they're just in the same universe. They're not really a series. They're just like in the same.
So, are you interested in reading them?
Maybe.
Okay, so you're continuing the Lord of the Rings series. This is what she's currently reading. So far, she read 6 books in June, but she'll probably have finished more. Not sure if I'll finish this vlog before that. But then this is what she's currently reading, Return of the King.
Part 3 of the Lord of the Rings.
How are you liking it?
I like it.
Okay, and then she's also continuing this classic, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Yeah.
So you didn't get too far. Oh.
Yeah. I'm only like the first chapter.
So
No,
yeah,
the
okay.
third.
So she's slowly making her way through Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, I started the funny thing is I started like a couple weeks ago, but I forgot about it, and I'm gonna start reading again today.
Okay, so that's what she's currently working on and what she read. I want to show you guys this little bin I have. So this is Behringer's little learning bin. Well, it's in a basket. But, so I just got these crayons in the mail from Target. They smell really good. Like the smell of it's like interesting. I like the smell of crayons. So I got him his jumbo crayons, and he will break them and he will eat them. So we're not ready quite yet. And I got him this, which is the Target brand Mondo Llama. I guess they carry this drawing paper. Now this is only 9 by 12. I usually would go bigger with his age for sure, but I just got it because it was like $3, and I just kind of wanted something to go with the crayons. But I will probably get a bigger one later. And we also, I believe, I have to go dig through our closet, but I think we have like a drawing roll, one of those like big giant rolls where you have the roll of paper from IKEA that we bought when my daughter was probably like 5, but we haven't used in a long time. So I'm thinking of using that, and then that, like I said, might be too small. Might have to put it aside, but I just got it for now. And this is his learning bin that we will start when he turns 1. I showed this before in like a little haul, but this is like little ABC abacus, so cute. I got this from, I believe, like Fat Brain Toys from Amazon. This is 100 First Words. This is a Montessori puzzle by Adina Montessori. I like that it's screwed, it's not glued, but it's thinner than the Melissa and Doug ones. But I got him not to do shapes and primary colors, and just to learn. But he won't understand shapes and primary colors yet, but just to learn how to put objects back. Okay, and then this we're gonna start reading to him every night to kind of like start with word repetition. So Goodnight Moon we're gonna start when he turns 1. And then I also pulled this book out of this little collection we have by Tabitha Page. And this one I thought we could do object recognition. Like, we don't have all of these things. We definitely have a stacker, we definitely have a car, we don't have a drum. Well, we maybe have a drum, but we definitely have a rocking horse. Oh my gosh, look. So I thought we would do these books. The ones that we have, I could show him. And then I thought we'd do like one a week. This one's a toys one. And then I thought we'd do one board book a week so that we could do repetition. So this is Go Dog Go by P.D. Eastman. And I'm going to loosely do vocabulary with him. I also got a sticker book, but I didn't put it here because I think he's a little young for it. But it matches this. And then this is the book set. It's like a foundational language vocabulary set. So cute. Our very little library. That's where I got the little Tabitha Page tiny book from. So yeah, so that's my plan when he starts 1. If this takes 5 minutes, then that's nice, or less. I'm not going to force him to do anything and just be like, A, B, C, D, E, and he'll probably just do like this, And then This one, he'll have it read to him. I want him to just learn. You know, like my daughter she was like reciting board books when she was like 3 or 4. And we used to read some of the same board books over and over. So I kind of want to have that experience with him and see if it builds his language and stuff like that. But yeah, this is kind of like my little homeschool, play school set that I have going on. And every week I'll change the book, and then we'll do these till we finish them. And that's kind of the loose goal for so far. And I'm also building his little Schlick, I'm not sure I pronounce it, animal collection. You know, this one's not. This one's a wooden, like Holzeiger, I'm sure. It's like a German brand. It's very heavy. It's like he really isn't drawn to it. I gave it to him already, and I don't know. And then I just got kind of like into the more realistic animals. This is plastic versus wood, but you know, these are like really expensive, and I understand why. They're probably handmade, probably hand painted, and they're just really good quality. But I think a lot of these are like 16 to 20 a piece. You can get really smaller ones for less expensive, but I just can't afford to just do every animal like that, because I'm using them for educational things. So I want to compare them to animals in books, and then we could say, you know, like look at the horse in the book, and then here's a real horse. So I got some of these at a thrift store. These horns were broken. He won't be able to use these yet. Like, these gonna be too rough. But as he gets towards 2 and maybe a little bit older, I'm not sure. I'm trying to get bigger ones that he can't like choke on or anything like that. Yeah. And so he's also getting another one for his birthday. So I'm slowly building this collection so I can do learning activities with him. This is all I have so far. So I got this in the mail today. This is Candle Island by Lauren Woke. She wrote Beyond the Bright Sea and then Wolf Hollow. So it's a middle grade fiction. I collect her work. So you guys, it's like, let's see. Lucretia, if I'm saying that correctly, and her mother have come to tiny Candle Island, Maine to escape memories of the car accident that killed her father and escape the journalists that hound her mother, a famous and reclusive artist. The rocky coast and ocean breeze are welcome respite for Lucretia, who dedicates her summer days to painting, exploring the island, and caring for an orphan osprey chick. The island has secrets. So, yeah, she is like big on writing like realistic fiction. That's pretty much what she does. And a lot of her books are like based sometimes like, I don't know, like they're modern, but some of them, but like they kind of, well, not all of them. Most of them are like modern, but they have like this old-timey feel. And yeah, like not kind of like, let's see, a little bit like Little House on the Prairie, but not really. Like they're a little bit more centered, usually around one protagonist. And then I'm continuing East by Edith Patu, and I was really excited. It usually takes me about 1 chapter to see if I really like a book, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Usually if I don't stop thinking about it, that means I made a wrong decision. I'll pick it back up if I DNF it. But a lot of times the writing style's pretty quick for me to see if I'm into it. And then secondly, I can be kind of a mood reader sometimes. So I was really excited about this when I first opened it, mainly because it's like, you know, based on like East of the West. East of, why is my brain not working? East of the Sun, West of the Moon / like Beauty and the Beast-ish or something. I'm not exactly sure. But so, and then I'm starting to like, I'm only on like chapter 3. I'm already starting to lose a little bit my curiosity about it. I'm on chapter 3. I'm gonna continue a little bit more, but I'm kind of being my picky self, and you know, everyone has their own right to do that, right? It's like, and I'm a mood reader, so kind of. It's like I really didn't describe myself as that way, but it's starting to feel that way sometimes. I have so little time right now that I just want to find like the perfect novel for me at this time. And just nothing I've been picking up has been doing it for me novel-wise. Yeah, that's why I was sticking to Bukowski's poetry. And I'm really starting to be sad right now if this, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. I'm just not connecting with it as much as I did the first chapter. But I'm trying, because it seems like a really interesting book. So I started The Little Mermaid and Other Fairy Tales by Hans Christian Andersen. I'm really glad because I haven't really read a lot of the originals, and it's like short stories, so I'm going to see if I can get into that. And I hate to say it, I don't know, but I DNF'd East and Emily of New Moon, which I mentioned earlier, but I wanted to try them again. I wanted to like try them a little bit more, but this one had like alternate perspectives of different characters. It's not that, but I kind of wasn't into that as much. And I don't know why, but I thought it was going to be more from like her perspective, from a single perspective, single character, which is kind of what I'm drawn to, honestly. And then Emily, I just really didn't connect with Emily as a character. I don't know. So Portis is interested in East, and she's not interested in Emily of New Moon, but I might hold on to Emily of New Moon and try it again. But this one, I don't think I'll try again, but I want to find another version, possibly, of East of the Sun, West of the Moon, because I'm really interested in that story. My grandmother used to watch the soap opera called Days of Our Lives. I just found myself saying that, like, days of our lives, these are the days of our lives, these are the days. But yeah, so I'll just tell you guys, if anyone's interested, no one's probably watching. It's like that scene in Me and You and Everyone We Know, where she says, just call my phone if you're listening to this at the end of the video and say macaroni, because she didn't think she was going to watch this like art performance tape. Miranda July, the protagonist of the film, who wrote it also, Miranda July. Anyway, she didn't think anyone was going to watch the tape, and so the lady actually watched it and called her and said macaroni. So yeah, but you know what I've been doing this week is I actually was kind of obsessed with this show on Netflix called Baby Reindeer. Wow, it's really interesting. It's so unique. It has a lot of adult topics I'm not going to mention, but basically I think there's like a lawsuit going on right now about like the person portrayed in it claims that it wasn't a true story, and then it's kind of mentioned that it is or something like that. But regardless, and that's a whole other topic, but I just watched Baby Reindeer and I highly recommend it. It's definitely not for children. It's definitely more of an adult film, but yeah, so it's really, it's not a film, it's a series, like a limited series, I believe. So based on supposedly true events or something like that about this man's life and about being stalked, or he alleges being stalked or being stalked, and then like a bunch of other like deep, like philosophical, not really philosophical, like literally deep things that happened to him and traumatic along the way that I didn't really expect. I thought it was just gonna be like kind of a linear stalking story, but no, I watched that yesterday or the day before. Really good. I haven't really watched, I'm rewatching Seinfeld right now. We're watching the Peanuts classics on Apple. Let's see. After I finish Seinfeld, I'm going to restart Curb Your Enthusiasm. I'm going to HBO. Right now I'm on Netflix. I let go of Hulu temporarily. I'm going to go back, and then I binge watch everything on certain places. So yeah, so right now I'm doing Seinfeld. I did Baby Reindeer on Netflix. And then we just finished The Golden Girls on Hulu. Loved it before we went to Seinfeld. Then going to Curb Your Enthusiasm, The Righteous Gemstones. What else? The one with, I think not Gene Hackman. It's a woman. What am I thinking of? Hacks, maybe it's called. It's about this like agent, personal assistant. Oh my God, I'm sorry. It's like slipping me. But it's like a famous actress, and she's playing someone in I forgot what industry. But yeah, it's pretty good. But I'm really going back on there for Caribbean. Oh yeah, and we want to rewatch all the Hayao Miyazaki movies again, and I really want to watch The Blue Heron again. I've only seen it once, so we're doing that next. So I'm reading The Little Mermaid, and that is like, I'm probably definitely gonna finish it before the end of the month, but I'm just doing this vlog. I will start the Lauren Woke book next that I showed you guys earlier. And then Portis is reading, I believe, Pride and Prejudice still, and the other books she showed you. Oh, the Lord of the Rings. Her book card is looking pretty skinny. It's looking pretty thin. And then mine is looking, needs to be refreshed, because there's not really a lot like new on it other than the Lauren Woke book that I'm really interested in reading, other than I told you guys about this nursery rhyme book. And then this one I'm returning to the library. That one I did finish, of course. And then that one I was gonna read alongside East, but I decided not to read East. So I don't know what to do, because like honestly I'm waiting on a lot of books that I'm really excited about that are coming out in August, September. And one's like a Katie Camillo. Let's see, another one is, I'll show you guys when I get them because I'm definitely gonna be ordering a lot of those. But that's like, oh, the Shady Hollow. I love the Shady Hollow mystery series. That one has one coming out in October. And there's like 2 other ones, I believe. I want to read the newest one by the same author who wrote The Snow Child, I believe. That one's out. The library has it. It's like Black Woods or something like that. I forgot the exact name, but there's not too much I'm excited about right now. So yeah, and so basically we're preparing to figure out if we're gonna move, maybe to Houston. I really gotta get away from these allergies in Austin. My whole family, I've talked about it before, we all have really bad ear allergies, ear popping, ear clicking, ear ringing, congestion, postnasal drip. My dogs have allergies. Portis does, my husband, and so we're pretty much miserable. Yeah, so we're trying to figure out that, but otherwise, I hope you guys have a really good summer. Behringer, he's playing right there, and Portis is actually in her room doing some stuff with air dry clay. And I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thanks so much. Take care. Bye.